we got a Lambo. Dreams Rentals houses this $320,000 2014 Lamborghini Aventador, which in 2021, it still looks like it's coming out in the future. It's got a protective layer of paint around its Verde pan grain skin, because unlike a lot of collectibles, this machine's been out in the wild every day. Filippo Perini's fighter jet-inspired rubber-neckable body is worth the 6 months you'll spend in a chiropractor's office after watching it whip by. The world hadn't seen carbon fiber monocoque chassis until 2011 when the Aventador was revealed at the Geneva Auto Show. This world premiere set the supercar world on its head as, just like that, everyone else was behind in the times. Carbon fiber accents are everywhere to save weight on this rather weighty car, the wing, the skirt, and around the intakes. Even with all that weight loss, this car thick though at 4,630 pounds. Humans are programmed to see faces in everything. Thanks to the software Mother Nature gave us, you'll see faces everywhere you look on this Aventador. Looking dead on at this LP700-4, its face reminds me of a carved Halloween pumpkin, which reminds me of Michael Myers, which reminds me of... These air vents on the back here, a touch below the engine, remind me of Batman. This was Bruce Wayne's car in The Dark Knight, after all.
The Lamborghini then. Much more subtle.
And finally, looking at the buttress, it looks like the unibrowed bird from Sesame Street. Hello! Speaking of Sesame Street, this part of the video has been brought to you by the letter S, as in S-duct. Underneath these terrifying lights are the air ducts on the extremities of the front bumper, taking in air through the bottom in proper S fashion and processing the wind through the top of the hood through these vents here, helping with downforce. I think the only place you'll find larger side intakes is on planes. I mean, look at this thing. Take the grate off and you can fit a turkey, a duck, a chicken. Turducken. Do you like pipes? The Aventador has 4 exhaust pipes combined into one super pipe. Having 4 pipes is like having 4 kids. It's a little exhaust thing. Get it? But other people think it's awesome. Do you like hexagons? 6-sided shape lovers all over the world rejoiced when the Aventador was released. There's a hexagonal exhaust enclosure, the hexagonal side view mirrors, the hexagonal fuel tank cover. Yes, this Lambo will put a hex on you. This car is a direct descendant of the Murcielago, which was much more trapezoid based. The Charlie Brown inspired lines north of the engine cover are quite the attraction, but the 12-valve showstopper lies through the fastback style glass. More on that later. The Aventador's wheels are enormous. The F1 inspired pushrod actuated shocks help the 255mm wide front and 335mm wide rear P0 tires stay on the concrete. The extra large pizza sized carbon ceramic brakes bring the 20 and 21-inch tires to a halt from 60 miles per hour in just 99 feet. You're going to need to raise the suspension on any surface that isn't a track though. The 125mm ride height can barely get you over a magazine. Like its little brother, the Huracan, Aventadors have aviation-inspired switches and levers. Switches for all your lights under the steering wheel here. More switches on the center console for the windows. The lift for raising the suspension. The ESC, hazards, and parking sensors. When Audi AG bought Lamborghini for an estimated $110 million in 1998, they made significant improvements to the notorious electrical problems. This Lamborghini has a lever for the reverse cam, convenient for backing up a $320,000 vehicle. Buttons for the temperature and media here, pretty self-evident, and are laid out exactly like the Audi. The handbrake is on the lever as well, making those cinematic handbrake turns appear less dramatic from the inside. The steering wheel is elegantly wrapped in black leather, just like the dash, and the steering wheel hub is coated in plastic. At least there's a golden bull on it. The glove compartment and center console are only big enough to carry a passport and a gun. You can drive in a holy trinity of modes: Strata for comfort when driving with someone you like, Sport for fun street driving when you're driving with someone you want to show a good time to, and Corsa for when you want super stiff driving, like when taking your mother-in-law to the airport or the track. The seats are a hybrid of Alcantara and leather. The Alcantara weighs 20% what leather does, and if you were to pull these sport seats out, you could easily lift them with one hand. The black-on-black bull stitched into the headrest is the marquee of the brute strength you're about to unlock in this cockpit. Best part about this car? The stop-start under this red button cover. It feels like you're launching a nuclear attack when you push it. Just before you push it, make a meal out of it. Like getting high. It's the anticipation that's actually the best part, right? Right? 700 horses comes from the first of the new generations of V12s to come out of Santa Agata Bolognese in 50 years. Their first round of V12 started off in their very first car, the 1963 350 GT. The car was a middle finger to Ferrari and the 3-liter Colombo engine it housed in its 1958 GTE. Variations of the first-gen Lamborghini V12 would come out for a half-century after that, continuing the legacy of Ferruccio Lamborghini and Enzo Ferrari's sausage measuring contest long after they passed on. Lambo's final 6.5-liter V12 was housed in this car's predecessor, the Murcielago. Almost 60 years after the start of the Ghini-Rari Wars, the Aventador is considered by many to be a far superior supercar to the beloved Ferrari 458 Italia. Unlike many supercars, like McLaren's, which require special technicians to expose the engine, Lamborghinis leave its engine in full view. Like an exhibitionist, it knows you want to look, and it lets you. The all-wheel drive system, hence the number 4 in the LP700-4 moniker, has you split all the torque equally amongst all the wheels. For you wealthy northerners, this could actually be your winter beater. If you love peeling out and the race car-like feel of power coming from behind, this car ain't for you. This is a 0-60 in 2.9 supercar made for the track that you could technically drive to your son's play, but really, who wants to see a kid's play? Cut to the present day, and the Aventador LP780-4 Ultimate shaves 0.1 seconds off that time. You might assume that this is a double-clutch transmission. This is not the case here. A Lamborghini's transmission is a single-clutch automated manual. Graziano Trasmissioni created this miracle device that allows you to switch gears in 50 milliseconds. That's just 8 milliseconds more time than one frame lasts in a movie, and 10 milliseconds faster than the gear change on a Ferrari 458 Spider. Like most Lambos since 1966's Miura, the Aventador is named after a Spanish fighting bull. Why an Italian company would name their cars after anything non-Italian is beyond me, but apparently the ultra-competitive Ferruccio Lamborghini loved bullfighting. Aventador, the bull, fought in Zaragoza, Aragon in 1993. We found some rare footage of the bull at the Zaragoza arena where we might actually be seeing the original Aventador in action. You can't take a bad picture of an Aventador. That's why it's one of the biggest music video hoes we know. What is it about Aventadors that make us want to strike a pose? The 207 miles per hour top speed, the lines, the colors? It's the doors. Think of all the great quotes. So many of them revolve around doors. The way the scissor doors open just makes us feel like Cinderella on our way to a new life, free of the despair of yesterday. There are things known and things unknown, and in between are the doors. You know who said that? I'll give you a hint. The answer's in the question. It's the doors.